Hello, and welcome to the haunted art studio of my sorcerer artist, Faustus Crow. I presently have time to kill during the witching hour by telling you a dark tale, while waiting to pose for my crow as his succubus art model. The dark tale I am going to tell you is about a Siberian shaman, whose name was quaintly lost by the European researchers, so let's call him Mr. Faculty X. The name Faculty X is actually a term which was coined by the British author Colin Wilson in his book entitled The Occult. Faculty X describes a latent power in human beings, enabling awareness of a higher reality beyond immediate sense perception, which is synonymous with the more commonly used term ESP. Anyway, Mr. Faculty X was a shaman of the Nanai people of Siberia, living along the Amur River of the Middle Amur Basin, and like other Siberian tribes are known to share a genetic affinity with the indigenous peoples of the Americas. Long before Mr. Faculty X became a shaman, he had no interest in becoming a shaman at all. His life was at first quite mundane until he was afflicted with a growing sense of the meaninglessness of his life, leading to a lingering depression, lasting many months, which caused him to often retreat to his sickbed due to feeling constantly lethargic. Then one fateful night, he experienced being set upon by a sleep paralysis nightmare. While being unable to move, he sensed his bedroom being invaded by a female ghost who then straddled his paralyzed body. Mr. Faculty X was terrified by the female spirit, whose form was at first indistinct of a shadowy mass. Then the feminine shadow took on the form of a beautiful young woman. Her figure was very slight, who was no more than 71 centimeters tall. He could see her face and attire was similar to those of physical Nanai women, whose hair fell down to her shoulders in short black tresses. Other Nanai shamans say they were also visited by spirit women, although they had one half of their faces painted black and the other half red. Mr. Faculty X became less afraid of the visitation of the spirit woman when he was able to see her. She then proceeded to talk to him within his vivid lucid dream.
I am the Ayami of your ancestors, the shamans. I taught them the art of shamanism. Now I am going to teach you. The old shamans have died off and there is no one to heal the people. You are to become a shaman.
The Ayami then said,
I love you. I have no husband now, you will be my husband and I shall be a wife unto you. I shall give you assistant spirits. You are to heal with their aid and I shall teach and help you myself. Food will come to us from the people.
Even though Mr. Faculty X was aware the word Ayami meant she was a guardian spirit, he did not want to be a shaman and tried to resist her by attempting to wake up. But she wouldn't allow him to awaken from the spirit world of the dream. She then said,
Should you not obey me? So much the worse for you. I shall kill you.
Mr. Faculty X decided to obey her seventh rune demand, whereupon she then allowed him to wake up from his vivid lucid dream. After the initiatory encounter, his illness was thereafter healed. Every time he fell asleep, the Ayami visited him within his vivid lucid dreams, wherein he made love to her as his own wife, but their coitus pactum unions did not lead to any spirit children being born. Within the spirit world of the dream, the Ayami lived by herself without any spectral relatives. Her witch house was a haunted hut upon a ghostly mountain, but she often changed the shape of her genie abode. She sometimes appeared to him under the aspect of an ancient old woman, or as a hungry werewolf bitch, whereupon she was terrible to look at, of a sleep paralysis nightmare. At other times she manifested as a winged tiger, so that he could mount her feminine feline form when astral journeying to differing alternate worlds. His Ayami also bestowed upon him 3 power animals, a panther, a bear and a tiger, who visited him within his lucid dreams, as well as appearing as vivid visions, whenever he summoned them while practicing his shamanic art. When Mr. Faculty X was practicing his shaman art, his Ayami watched over his trance dance, while he assumed the inner guises of the power animals she had bestowed. Whether big or small, the moon sign, sun sign and ascendant sign, power animals, penetrated his body as an emotional energy, which empowered him. When the Ayama spoke within his visions, he related what she said to those seeking to be healed, and she accomplished the healing herself, through him. Offerings of pig blood were given to Mr. Faculty X by those seeking to be healed of their afflictions. The pig blood is only drunk by the shaman, though a Nanai delicacy, lay people are forbidden to partake of pig blood. Sounds horrendous, doesn't it? Just like European blood sausages and saveloy made out of pig's brains. However, the pig blood is not for the shaman, it is for the Ayami, who eats and drinks the offerings. The shaman is also required to take care of his assistant spirits, whereupon he scatters meat and gruel for them, who pick it up for themselves, within the mirroring spirit world of the dream. There are 3 Faculty X degrees of Nanai shamans. The first shaman is like a doctor, who only knows how to heal the mind so that it can in turn heal the body. The next shaman is likened to a priest, who performs a commemorative office, which is a special ceremony performed over a deceased person's soul, a day or 2 after leaving the mortal world. But the greatest and most powerful shaman is the one who conveys the souls of the deceased into other worlds. The Faculty X, Ayami, teaches them all. The Ayami became the art muse of Mr. Faculty X, who inspired him to make himself a shaman's garment, as well as inspiring him to make a drum. Before Mr. Faculty X made his own drum, he used to borrow a drum when practicing his ritualistic performance art. Although his Ayami did not teach him to make a shaman spinal column pole of an axis mundi, since it was too early. He had the sensation she wanted to see how he would progress in his art first. She also inspired him to sculpt intricately carved images of his power animals out of mammoth ivory and wood. After they had been carved out, as his Ayami had prescribed, he hung them on his wall, as well as wearing them around his neck. He brought his created sculptures offerings and burned incense for them. Then he played his drum, summoning his power animals to enter the created images as their spirit repositories, and they obeyed his conjuring call. The Nanai believe there can be no shaman without an Ayami. A man's Ayami always appears as a woman, and a woman's manifests as a man, because they are like husband and wife. Although this is dependent on the sexual orientation of the shaman. There are some shamans who also have sexual congress with all their female assistant spirits, as a sultan would do in his hierarchical harem. And like in a pyramidal harem, the Ayami is a queen who elects the shaman as her chosen sultan. Whereas the numerous female assistant spirits who are subordinated to the shaman and given to him by his Ayami, are clearly distinguished from one another. However, not all Nanai shamans are male. There was a great female shaman of the Nanai who lived alone, without a husband. But the female shaman wasn't lonely, since she had in her employ many male spirit servants, both angelic and demonic, dancing around her Ayami, manifesting as her personal god and devil. The numerous names of her male spirit servants were listed within her Playgirl grimoire, out of which she conjured them as her servile genies. She had nightly sexual relations with all her male spirit servants within her lucid dreams, which empowered her faculty X. My dark tale is now at an end. Bye for now. May your faculty X, lucid dreams, be Lovecraft, dark of a seventh rune seal, revelation.